what are we going to expect in the next matchup? What is the thing that that Finesse Overlords needs to do in the next game? Ergo, do you have anything in mind?
Yes, I think they might have to try to change the strategy. Of course, since they lost. Well, number one priority is always ban Moonstar, but if they have the first pick, then they just let the other team ban her. I believe let's check out the stats here of Black Knight. He was only 2-1-7, but he was key in the spacing, the split pushing advantage of New Gen there. So they might think of banning Black Knight here. That would enable them to get an advantage in the jungle, enable them to breathe easier in terms of split pushing. What do you think? Do you agree with that assessment, Infinity?
Yeah, I actually do agree with that statement that you have said. Black Knight would be a potential to punish for Team Finesse Overlord. So if they ban it, that may give them a bit of advantage, but they really want to prioritize Black Knight for those meta units. Now, we know that Black Knight is also a meta, but is Black Knight the right ban to be picked off for the next matchup? Now, this is the question that we need to think about, right? It is not necessarily a bad ban, but is it going to weigh over the other bans that may potentially be utilized and used by Team New Gen in the next matchup? With that said, Team Finesse Overlords really had a good game in the early matchup for the game 1. They just need to apply that into the mid game, into the late game. If they balloon those tiny bits of advantage, those 2k gold lead to a 5k gold lead, to a 10k gold lead, that would mean they would win the game. And that is the thing that Team Finesse needs to prioritize in the next matchup.
I can actually see a pattern with Finesse Overlords. Even in their previous match against Finesse Bryyy, they had the early advantage both games, but they just fell apart in the late game. Eventually, they lost. And the same thing happened in that match. Early advantage onto Finesse Overlords, but then slowly but surely, New Gen taking care of the objectives, being patient all throughout, getting Surtur, a couple of towers down, and eventually winning the game. Purely objectives, as you mentioned. So let's see if Finesse Overlord can change that pattern. See what they can do to shake things up. They might have to focus more on objectives this time instead of picking off enemy heroes early on. At least that's just my insight. What do you think? I'm just rambling on.
I actually agree on that one. The change in game style, gameplay for Team Finesse would be potential to punish Team New Gen in the next matchup. And in the draft picks, I also want to emphasize the draft picks, because the draft picks would decide if you get an advantage based on the draft, based on the heroes. Do you have those counter picks against Black Knight, wherein Team New Gen actually utilized very well? Is Ironman going to be good against Storm? Is it going to be good against Ancient One? These types of things are need to be think through by Team Finesse Overlords in the next matchup, right? Because the draft picks is all about mind games. If you win on the mind games, you can apply it, you can execute it, and you can win those fights that will happen in the game.
Yeah, that's true. And the mind games are about to start. Banning about to be started in 3, 2, and here we go! First ban is the Ant-Man, the Initiator. We can see how crucial he was in that last match with his Super Soldier form, just stunning, slowing down the enemy heroes, enabling the rest of the team to pick off those heroes and also giving them time to push objectives. But for the other team, we have the Mad Titan ban. I do not disagree with that ban. Thanos, just one of the best, if not the best, all-rounder hero in the game.
And now, these two teams prioritize to ban the top lanes. Now, these two meta units for the top is now gone and out of the question. Now, Ancient One actually to follow up on that one, but Moonstar being banned as well. It is actually a very good ban coming in from Team New Gen. Because if New Gen didn't ban Moonstar, Finesse would pick it through and through. That is 100% sure. And always, we need to think about this one. Team Blue, always in the blue side, would be the one to pick first. And on the red side, to follow up on that one. And Moonstar is a high priority ban for this game, for the current meta. And those bans that we're seeing up there is actually a formidable one and reasonable for the current matchup.
Those bans are definitely good, but it does open up slots for heroes like Deadpool and the Hulk. Black Knight is also back. We see Corvus Glaive also coming back for game 2. We see similar heroes like the Thing, Iceman, being picked by Finesse Overlords. No, we see a Gambit. Okay, this is a change up. This is an interesting pick. I do like Gambit and its burst potential here. If farmed properly, he can just take over the game. And there's a different pick. We see Sandman for Finesse Overlord.
Tell me something good.
I think Sandman will be able to bully most top laners here. Good pick here for Finesse Overlord.
I agree, and Sandman, I think on this fight would go to the top lane. Deadpool would go to the jungle, and Gambit would go to the bot lane. And now, Team Finesse, what would they answer against the enemy team? Against a Hulk support? That would be against or with Starlord in the bot lane.
Yes, Starlord! Wow, he's back!
Groot?
Starlord is back. There's Groot! Oh, Groot! Yeah, he's one of the best support heroes in the game. Although we rarely see him banned, but his kill kit is very useful, especially with that entangle ability. That hook also can pick off enemy heroes. So it's kind of like similar to the hook. They do disrupt and provide a lot of utility for their team. Can act as bodyguards as well for the backline.
Hello, darling.
And now we are looking at an Emma Frost last pick here for Team New Gen as their jungle. Now Deadpool actually matches up against Emma Frost in this fight. And now, Team Finesse, the question is, are they going for the typical lineup? Because a while ago in the game 1, we have seen the support in mid lane switch roles. And are we going to see it once again in game 2?
I don't know. Let's just watch and see what happens. How will they play this out? So, which draft? Which team do you think had the better draft? Infinity.
Looking at the current draft, I think New Gen is actually pretty smart in terms of their draft pick, but I am going for Team Finesse looking in this game 2. They're looking actually pretty good. Groot with that support, with the Gambit, Ironman in the mid lane, Deadpool, Sandman. These heroes are actually pretty good. So I am going for Team Finesse.
Attention.
I do echo your thoughts here, but I believe the key matchup here could be in the jungle with Deadpool and Emma Frost going at it. Deadpool, of course, very, very annoying. He's mobile. I think he is the only hero with 8 skills, if I'm not mistaken. So he can switch from range to long range to melee. He also has crowd control, immune crowd control abilities. So just a handful to deal with again in the hands of the right player. Emma Frost, though, he's able to set up that mind control ability, taking off 1 or 2 enemy heroes with it. Then that would most likely end the clash right there. Just give the win for their side.
Now, when you're looking at this fight, this is another interesting thing that we have seen in the current game 2. In game 1, we have seen mid and bot lane switch. And now, we are looking at a 2-man jungle. Hulk as the support and Emma Frost as their main jungle here for Team New Gen. So this is a new one. This is a new strategy coming in for Team New Gen. Is Team Finesse going to counter this with a typical traditional lineup for their team?
Enemy hero missing.
Well, we will find out. We see here New Gen trying to set up an ambush in the middle, but at the other side of the bushes, Team Finesse had the same idea, trying to ambush as well in the middle. So both teams just disengaging right there, seeing that both were just trying to outdo the other.
Enemy hero missing.
So not much damage being taken since we are in the early game. Ironman is trying to hold on to middle here, but for enemy heroes for New Gen, just waiting, being patient. Now they're shifting to the bottom, I believe, trying to pick off one of the jungle heroes here. And here we go, we have a clash. Ironman fires off the missiles, but not much happened there. New Gen just retreated. They saw the danger there. They did not wish to risk it. Just played it safe. And on to you, Infinity.
Now, Team Finesse actually forced out the hook to recall now.
First KO.
What a first KO coming in from Everfrost. Deadpool did not expect that. That was an early roam and that was an early kill coming in from Team Nugent. And this is a potential for the next matchup to punish Team Finesse once again. Now Team Finesse needs to act as a bit of safe play for this early game. With those early dominance coming in from Everfrost, those Starlord, even Corvus Glaive with that sustainability out for the bot lane.
Yeah, I do agree with you there. And now we have a clash here. Well, one-on-one clash. Sandman trying to bully Black Knight, but he is backed up by Starlord. So Sandman forced to back off. Back to the tower hugging. And we have a potential kill. So Deadpool responds with that first first death by him. They being able to take down Starlord. So now we are at 1-all. What happened there? How did they get that kill?
Protect allied
Now those mistakes are actually coming through for the side of Team New Gen. Starlord actually went in for the bush head on in danger with his second skill. With that mobility in mind, he thought that he can go to the mid lane safety even though if Ironman was there, but he doesn't know that there was another waiting for him in the bush, and that is a surprise attack coming in from Team Finesse that made them kill Starlord.
Yes, a lot of these pickoffs usually happening in terms of ambushes. Heroes just hiding in the bushes. And then you see the other hero from the other team trying to initiate a clash, but little do they know there are 2 or 3 more enemy heroes waiting, trying to ambush. And here we have a clash with Bash. The Unibeam fires off, manages to melt down an enemy hero. Hope goes down. Deadpool, I think, got the kill there. But Corvus Glaive roaring back, taking revenge for his fallen comrade. Now it's a 1-to-1 clash. Although now New Gen does have the opportunity to take down this buff, the red buff is with them, with the enemy jungle. Advantage, New Gen. Still not over. Starlord trying to defend top. Not much happening there. Okay, so that clash was done. New Gen, slight advantage. What do you think?
Now the earlier fight in the Bass, that was a 1-for-1 trade-off, but that is an advantage for the side of Team Finesse. They have gotten the Bass in their favor. Now that is extra damage up and running for the next fight to come if they force it, if they want to get those clashes out, or even get objectives as well, as we are seeing right now in the bot lane.
Protect allied turret.
Yes, big advantage here for New Gen once again. Aside from getting the Bass, they also took down the enemy buff. So just farming here very well in the early game. We are just past the 5-minute mark, now at the 6-minute mark. Finesse Overlord once again. In contrast actually to the first game, their start is not as impressive, but let's see if they make up for that in the mid to late game. I do believe they have the burst potential here with Gambit. If he's able to farm properly, get his damage kit out, then he can just vaporize enemy heroes without them being able to react.
Ooh, the hook. Getting those in and out against the Ironman, but disengages right after. No follow-up coming in from Team New Gen on those fights. Now Surtur is actually up and running for any of these teams. Who is gonna take this? Who is gonna get this? Because if Surtur goes down, that is surely tower objectives for the side of a team that got it.
Yes, both teams now just waiting for the other side to make a move.
Assemble.
They do not want to risk it. They're playing it safe. It's still at 2-0, and we have a potential pickoff here. Groot goes down 1-on-4, I believe. He was in no man's land there. Deadpool tried to help, but he was too late. He was too far away that time. So, a bit of unlucky moment there for Groot.
Protect allied turret.
I guess he thought he had the advantage in the jungle, in the bushes.
Now we drew it down. Team New Gen could go for an objective here. Could go for a pick-off. Now Emma Frost actually forcing out the flash out to safety with the Black Knight as well. But Corvus Glaive is actually in danger, going in for the flash as well back to safety, but it's not enough. And dashing out just in the right time to get under the turret. But that Ironman with that raw damage killing off Corvus Glaive in those fights. And now Team Finesse actually goes in with a dive as well, getting on those unit beam with a little bit of sprinkle here on the turret. And now that is 3-4-0 trade-off in addition to the turret down for the side of Team New Gen.
Allied turret.
Now Team Finesse actually
Okay,
have their side.
An enemy
Now they have
turret
their sights
has
actually
been
onto the
destroyed.
tier 2 turret in the bot lane as well, successfully getting those. And we may see a potential get here for the Surtur in the next minute.
So this will be crucial. Whoever gets the first Surtur here will most likely control the flow of the match.
An enemy turret has been destroyed.
And while that was going on, since there were just so many skills, a lot of actions going on, my phone crashed. It was not able to handle the heat, the energy from these two teams. I'm trying to get back ASAP in the match. But
Attack.
right now, I'll let you take over the casting duties since I have no idea what's happening. Go for it,
No.
Infinity.
The Bass is now available in the game currently. Who is going to take this one? The Bass and Surtur is now alive. The next team fight, the next clash that would happen, and the team that wins it would have the potential to go for these two objectives available in the game. Now Ironman forces out the Unity match, actually putting out a lot of advantage damage out Corvus Glaive. Starlord getting that Bass into their hands. With that damage out, they could continue to go for this clash, to go for this fight. However, Team Finesse doesn't want it. They don't want this advantage to be in the hands of Team New Gen. They want to end this. Now Ironman actually going in here to go for a dead. Now Starlord actually bit of a mobility here to save himself, but it's not enough. Deadpool finishes him off. Now it's a 2-for-3 trade-off
An ally hero
in
has been
favor
defeated.
of Team New Gen. Now the Surtur is also up. The jungle of Team New Gen is also up and running. They could potentially get this one. They could potentially go for the clash up against the Surtur. If they got it, they could end the game, they could finish it, they could go for the inhibitor turrets, and that would be a GG well played to the side of Team Finesse. But
Yes,
Team Finesse-
I just want to say I'm back. I am back finally. My phone is loaded. So today, great job on casting the action there. I will try to help you out as much as I can. But here we see what happened. Finesse Overlord has a slight advantage in kills. They also have the objective advantage. But Surtur not yet down for both teams. So still patience for both teams. Neither team wishing to push the action. Just waiting for the other team to initiate. Just
What
like
I
you
like-
said, it is a crazy chess match.
Indeed, and what I like about the side of Team New Gen, if you're looking at the top of the screen,
Retreat.
these two teams have their gold at an even level. So that means that Team New Gen actually got those farms out. But with that said, Corvus Glaive is a bit of a danger there. Groot goes down as well. Ironman going in with a unit beam, going down for Emma Frost in those fights. With a follow-up from Corvus Glaive, Gambit goes down as well. But Black Knight actually goes in, dives in, Deadpool goes down.
Deadpool, as mobile he is, could not outrun the Black Knight there with his trusty steed. So he goes down while we have here. Oh, more clashes going here in the middle. Sandman trying to hold the fort against 3 enemy heroes, but he's joined by Ironman, and of course he has the tower. Groot spawns in the bushes. Actually, that's smart by Groot. If New Gen stayed there, they would have no idea that Groot was lying in the bushes there, respawning in the bushes. It could give them time to fire off his ultima while they were busy in that clash, and could have, I don't know, be the turning point of the game. Potentially.
Now, New Gen has that map control out to safety for their team. Getting in those buffs to their side, getting in a bit of trade-offs here against Deadpool in the jungle. They want to zone out the enemy team. They want to zone out Finesse to go for the objective, to go for that Surtur once they are gone. And just pushing in, getting in those lane pressure out to their advantage.
We see there a perfect hook by Groot, although he got the wrong hero since he got Black Knight. He was just able to run away to safety.
Starlord in the bot lane, actually going in for the fight, flashes in and get the kill. Ironman is out and about in this fight. Now this is a 5v4 situation if a fight occurs. Emma Frost here trying to zone out the Deadpool. If they get the Deadpool, they can go for the Surtur without the jungle spell here coming in from Deadpool. So that is a stealing potential gone for the side of Team Finesse. Now Corvus Glaive actually goes in a bit of a bait here onto the Groot.
Okay, so New Gen, did they think it wasn't worth it to try and get Surtur, so they just focus on the Bass? Much safer option there. I do like that decision. Now they can build on this advantage. Try to pick off Deadpool once again. Oh, however, I do not think he is nearby. He's not willing to cooperate. So here New Gen trying to push.
The Bass is onto the side of Team New Gen here. Black Knight going in a bit of a CC there from Team Finesse. But it's not enough. With the mobility in mind, Black Knight is back to safety. The Starlord has his sights on the tier 2 turret in the mid lane. If he actually gets this, that is map control extended for the side of Team New Gen. Now with a 4k gold lead, to their side has 2 items done. 2 items advantage for the side of Team New Gen, with another turret destroyed in the bot lane as well. Now,
yes, and Starlord just taking down that turret. Split pushing at his best.
Now split pushing
Ew!
is actually pretty good for the side of Team New Gen here. It is what they are good at. Now they just really need to go for that Surtur. Corvus Glaive actually initiating this one. If Emma Frost, if Hook successfully zones out the enemy team, this may be in turn for the side of Team New Gen. Emma Frost actually goes in for the support here. Black Knight goes in with a bit of trade-off onto Sandman. And Surtur goes down to the side of Team New Gen. And this may potentially be an endgame for the side of Team Finesse.
Yeah, this could be the turning point, Infinity, while the rest of the team members of Finesse Overlords were busy defending. Just I think 2 members of New Gen there just took down Surtur.
Indeed.
They had complete control of that map, and now we have a pause here. Hopefully we get this sorted out.
Team Finesse needs to keep in mind that if they lose this game, it is going for Team New Gen. What are they gonna do in the next minute? Because Surtur is gonna be up in a couple of seconds after we unpause the game. Surtur is gonna clear the lanes with that flame, and that is a potential push for the side of Team New Gen.
For Finesse Overlord, I think they have no choice. They have to defend. They have to be patient here. They can't force the clashes. They have to stick by their tower. Let the tower support them. Add more damage to their clashes and potentially turn the tide, turn that clash over to their advantage.
Now Surtur is now online to the side of Team New Gen. Sandman is in a bit of a weak side of the map here. Amafrost goes in with a support, but disengages. Sandman actually recognizes that he is on the weak side of the map. There is no one to support him, and he disengages. Black Knight is looking for the top lane, supporting the Surtur here, trying to get those in and outs of the battlefield.
Assemble.
No, Emma Frost actually goes in with the assemble here for the top side.
I can see New Gen here focusing on the top with Surtur while Starlord is at the bottom
Allied turret.
trying to sneak in another split push.
Destroyed.
So Surtur takes down the second tier tower. One more tower at the top for Finesse Overlords.
Under attack.
And here we go. Can defense win out?
Ironman going in for the Unibeam. Actually, Hook is down now. It is a bit of an endanger for Corvus Glaive, but with that dash away is back to safety. Now, conventionally, it is actually pretty good. When you have the Surtur, you go for a split push in the opposite side of the map. Why? Because it gives the mind games in a disadvantage for your other enemy team,
Attack. Assemble.
right?
Black Knight.
It would make them decide, what am I going to prioritize? Am I going for the Surtur, or am I going to defend the turret that a split pusher is going for?
Assemble.
Yes, Finesse Overlord just in a tough spot there. Especially with Starlord with his mobility, able to go in and go out and support the top in an instant with his rocket boots
Attention.
ability.
Assemble.
So at least we see here a ray of light for Finesse Overlord, able to successfully defend. They took down Surtur. Now they have more space in the map. They just need to be patient. Here we see a potential clash with Bash. This could be either the start of the comeback or the doom of Finesse Overlords. Let's see what happens.
Finesse should not have given that up, but with that said, Ironman goes in with a Unibeam, and that clash was actually pretty good. That ult from Ironman was pretty good. Now, Ironman is a bit of an in danger here from the Black Knight, with that CC potentials out to safety. Black Knight is going in with a bit of a dive there, with a bit of the damage out.
Allied hero has been
Corvus
defeated.
goes and kills off the Sandman. And Team Finesse is a bit of an in danger spot here with their tank out of the question. In the next team fight, who is gonna defend them aside from Groot? Because Gambit, Ironman, potentially Deadpool are all a bit of a weaker heroes when it comes to their defensive capability.
Yeah, they are a bit low on the defensive capability, but they do have burst damage potential. So the key here will be taking down those DPS members of the other team as fast as they can, then join in the rest of your teammates in taking down the tanks and the big butt heroes, the mushy heroes.
Now with Surtur up, if Team New Gen puts Deadpool in the grave, they could potentially get this. They could potentially go in and successfully get it without a potential for Team Finesse to go for a steal. But with that said, Deadpool here is on the bush waiting for a fight. Now that is a potential. Gambit actually kills off Hulk. Now that is a 5v4 situation, an advantage for the Team Finesse. And Frost goes in with a bit of the poke there, but is not enough to zone out the enemy team. Team Finesse now has their sights on to the Surtur.
And this could be the start of the comeback. Depends if they get the Surtur. But New Gen not having any of it. They're trying to get the last hit here. Even taking down Deadpool by a Corvus Glaive. So 4-on-4 situation now. But Starlord and Gambit are nowhere to be found. Gambit has tried to try and defend. Look at their base. What is Starlord doing? He's trying to end this now when they're all busy with Surtur. But Gambit senses it. Tries to defend here. Oh no, he goes down. But the problem is he does not have creep to support him. So not yet over. Although it is an ace.
It is the time, my favorite time, wherein the end game is now coming up. Now, Team New Gen is finishing this. They want to end this. And Team Finesse has 15 seconds for Deadpool to actually go up, and they can't defend this. And this game goes for the side of Team New Gen.
So that's a 2-0 result for Team New Gen. Wow. I expected to be much closer. I thought we would go all the way to a game, all the way to a 1-all result. But New Gen just proving me wrong. just telling me that I should watch more of their matches, learn as much as I can about their teams. They look like they are a force to be reckoned with in this MDL Season 2 tournament.
Indeed, New Gen says, no. Finesse, you can't go back to us because we're gonna end this. We want to finish this game, and they did. And that is the type of play that we are seeing for the MDL Season 2. And now I am excited for the Day 3 of this tournament.
Yes, me as well. So what did you think were the key moments of that match? For me, I think it was mobility heroes like Starlord and Black Knight just dictating the tempo, dictating the pace of the match. It actually warped how Finesse Overlord had to react. They were just on their toes. They did not know where to go, which to prioritize. The whole enemy team was just spit pushing. Here, top, bottom, middle, sorter, out on the other side. So they were pretty much discombobulated for a lot of clashes there.
Now, I think what tipped the scale is the objectives. Once Team New Gen got the Surtur, they had the advantage, they pushed turrets. And now, the inhibitor turrets are the only one remaining for the side of Team Finesse. And once they go for the second Surtur, that is an endgame. That is the objective that is worth dying for, which Team Finesse did, but they didn't actually get it successfully, and that meant the whole game for the tournament.
Yes, and key moment there in that last clash, we saw Starlord trying to split push. The rest of the teammates, the rest of the enemy heroes were busy with Surtur. He was trying to push at the bottom, but Finesse Overlord saw that, so they sent Gambit to take care of Starlord. However, they missed a lot of their damage burst potential during that clash with Surtur, and resulting in a wipeout on their end.